What up? What up? We back with the OG crew to talk about the NBA Finals, and we got three of us. We minus one, but he still might pop up throughout the show. So only one game still. It should be a good one. Um, I'll just get into it if it's good with you guys. Dallas and Boston. Shout out to the chat too. I should have shouted y'all out already, but shout out to the chat. See all y'all in here waiting. Dallas and Boston opened up Boston -6. We now see them 6.5. There are a couple sixes still out there. Total though, it was sitting steady all week, 214.5. It opened 213.5, but it was sitting at 214.5 all week. Right now, 217. We've seen it skyrocket today. So
Fair.
two really good offensive teams, but two really good defenses. But Bano, I know you look at a lot of totals. Do you think this market move is justified?
I do. I think I said it actually at the last. I can't even remember the last time we were on. God damn it! It was that long ago. I'm surprised. It feels like the NBA Finals is happening 20 years in the future from the last time I watched NBA basketball. My goodness, over a week since the last time we saw NBA basketball. But I think on the last show I mentioned, and on that show I was interested in the over here in Game One, and clearly I'm not alone with that line of thinking because we've seen this total open 213.5. I'm seeing it as high as 217 now. So clearly there's been some movement, and I agree with it. Early in the series, especially when you're talking about lengthy layoffs for both the Mavs and the Celtics coming in here to Game One tonight. I definitely don't expect the defenses to be on point necessarily. We've seen signs of this throughout the course of the playoffs so far, really in both sports, basketball and hockey, both the winter sports, where early in the series is where you get your overs. And then later in the series is where things start to tighten up. You get defense taken over. The intensity ramps up as the games get more important. And you're probably going to see something along the lines here of that. Not to mention, you look at the Celtics, who had their issues defensively against Indiana at times. Like Indiana was able to score on them, in the Eastern Conference Final. Indiana's problem was they weren't defending, the Celtics well enough, especially down the stretch of those, in particular, those three games they had the lead and they couldn't hold it. Now you look at what they've got to deal with. I know they're going to have Kristaps Porzingis back. It's huge for Boston offensively, and I think, which is another plus for this over. But at the same point in time, I don't think Porzingis is going to be this big deterrent in the paint to the likes of Washington, Gafford, and some of these others who've had just a tremendous playoff so far for the Dallas Mavericks. Not to mention, you look at what Boston went up against in the first three rounds. A depleted backcourt for Miami. Butler and Rozier out. Donovan Mitchell missing in action for the latter half of the Cleveland series in the second round. Last round against Indiana, they probably finally faced at least a healthy backcourt, Nembhard and Halliburton, but even Halliburton got banged up a little bit midway through that series. So now they got to see Luka and Kyrie. And there's no question from a defending the backcourt perspective, this is the toughest challenge Boston's had so far. And it may not be close with what they're going to have to deal with there. So, and yes, they are capable defending along the perimeter. That's always been a capability of Boston. But when you go from some of these matchups, Miami with no Butler, with Cleveland with Mitchell banged up, Indiana with Halliburton, a little bit less than 100% later in that series as well. And you go from all that, where you had those advantages, to now Dallas with Luka and Kyrie playing at a high level, obviously. That's going to be a challenge for Boston. And maybe they'll make some adjustments to get better, at handling it later in the series. But off a layoff and a game one of a new series with this kind of talented backcourt at basically coming at them, I think it's going to take them a bit. So I like the over here. I think Dallas is the underrated commodity in this series, the undervalued commodity in this series. I would lean to them here in game one, but I don't love it. There are a lot of trends that point to Boston here in game one. And for that reason, I'm not really bullish on the Dallas side here in game one. But what I will do is if Boston does emerge victorious here in game one, whether it's with a point spread cover, win by 7 or more to cover the number or not, I'll be very interested in Dallas in game two.
Yeah, and I think I can agree with a lot of what you said there. Um, I do think we'll see more points in this first game too. Like you said, it'll take some time for them to adjust to how to defend each other, in a better way. So I think the market is moving in the right direction. Dutch, I know you don't look at a whole lot of totals, so I'll ask you, your boy is getting 6.5 points. He's not known to have a whole lot of good game ones, but will he have a good enough game one to cover the spread tonight?
The NBA is a hell of a drug. And you looking at the plugs. Yeah, man. It's been too goddamn long since I've been able to say that here on the show, as Babano said. Man, it's been a long motherfucking time. Shout out to the chat, though. Kenny, woo, woo, woo. I see you, my dude. Gold Drew, I like that juicy ass ticking with the Mavericks. I think you'll find a way. Maybe after it's 1-1, you get a little hedge action going here. And maybe put a little bit on the C's. Nets bets, I see you, my man. Loving that WNBA, Skee. Loving that shit, man.
Hey, it pays.
Favorites are 9-0. 9-0 last 9, he said. Just bet the Linux, man. Just bet whatever the fuck they are. Linux, whatever the fuck y'all call them. hey, just don't bet on the wings. Nah, no. Shout out to Tasha, though. Speaking of beautiful young ladies, good to see you. Yeah, man. Been waiting a long time for this motherfucker. God damn. All right, that was a long weekend with no NBA. I'm very happy that we're here tonight, and I'm gonna be a square motherfucking bear. I'm about to. Okay, I was gonna say, how you gonna miss game 1 of the NBA Finals, motherfucker? Yeah, you Ram Bam.
There he is.
Hey, I'm back. I'm good.
Better late than never.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. I was like, man, when is he gonna send the link? And I looked up, I was like, oh, they already live. God,
damn, pass that shit, man, Bam.
God damn, hey, I'm smoking some gold shit right now.
Too many sleeping pills there, Wham Bam. Too many.
Not at all. I've actually been right here sitting around. I'm over here just like faded as hell, looking through shit. I'm quiet. Don't bother me.
But yeah, man, good to see you, my man. Hope all is well. It's only right. We had the 4 OGs on deck for game 1 of the finals. But yeah, back to Beantown. Back to motherfucking Beantown. I think it's square. It's really square bear type shit. It's like I'm at the poker table. Dallas hitting 6.5. I mean, I just don't give a fuck. I feel like all playoffs long, the Dallas has been getting disrespected on the road. Especially getting disrespected, period. But on the road, look what the line. Think about what the lines were in when they played against OKC. I mean, these lines didn't make no motherfucking sense, and it was in 5, should have been 4. But Luka and Kyrie had a speed bump in the fourth quarter there in Game 4. Outside of that, I mean, it was the same damn thing. Then we go to the Minnesota series, and we continuously see the numbers going the other way. Dallas getting points still or being low favored at home. I mean, shit. The shit don't make sense to me. So I'm gonna write it, man. I'm gonna write it. I think 6.5 is way too many motherfucking points. Now, we did say Dallas has had trouble game 1. I believe they showed up in game 1 in Minnesota, which was up until Dallas went to town, which was a pretty fucking tough place to play all playoffs long, Minnesota. 7 days, I believe. You give Luka the motherfucking dawn. You see him. He looked cheery. He got a new fade. Hey, he's good to go. He's good to go. Now, this Uncle Drew Kyrie tour that we're doing right now, we can maybe calm down a little bit on that. Let's win a couple games in Boston. But, I got love for Kyrie, and I love to see what he's doing with Luka. But maybe a little too much of Kyrie talk right now. Let's dummy that shit down. We don't want to rally these motherfuckers up in Boston too much because let's not forget, Kyrie did shit on him. He really did shit on him. We don't know the inside. We don't know both sides. But one thing we do know, Kyrie shit on Boston. So at the end of the day, I want to see more Luka. I think from a basketball perspective, check it out. When I go back to what I said about them being undervalued, 15-6 last 21 as a road dog against the number. Dallas is. All right. 8-2 last 10 as against the number as an underdog. 7 outright wins. Tell me if that ain't this motherfucking respectful. And it's the same damn thing right here. They're live to win this game. You're going to tell me right now Luka, Kyrie suited up in Beantown off a week aren't live to win this game, and we're getting 6.5? I don't give a fuck how many people are on it. It's got to be the play. I know I got some respectful guys going to the window on Boston, and they're talking KP's going to come back and have a great he's going to be a difference maker, and Drew's going to shut down Kyrie and all this bull-ass shit. KP ain't played in a month. And when he does play, his ass usually gets fucking hurt. So we'll see how long he lasts. But you're throwing him back in the mix after being gone for an entire month. I think it fucks up the rotation a little bit offensively. Some players are going to not get as many minutes as they are. Al's obviously going to go back to the bench. That could be helpful. It could not be. But at the end of the day, how is it not a layup drill for Luka and Kyrie Irving? How is it not a layup drill? Tell me one person that's intimidating them going to the hole. I think it'll be a layup drill. The perimeter players knock down open shots because we know Kyrie and Luka will both cause the double. So PJ Washington, you got to knock down open shots. Derrick Jones, if you can give me anything, if you can give me half of what you gave me against Minnesota, we'll be good, because he played out of his fucking mind against the Timberwolves. And then, of course, Tim Hardaway Jr., if you want to get off the bus, please do. I mean, please do. I know you tie up your shoes, but we ain't seen your motherfucking ass. We ain't seen you. So, I believe bench night and day. There's levels to this shit, and the bench is clearly on another level than the Boston Celtics bench. At the end of the day, give me Luka the motherfucking Don. Give me Kyrie Irving and the 6.5. Come on, man. Forget about it. It's good money. I'm all over the Mavericks tonight. Game 2, we could talk about Boston, because I don't believe Dallas will do what they did to Minnesota. But tonight, 6.5 is way too many motherfucking points off of this break.
They said you sound pretty confident in that breakdown. And
I'm thinking about it for a motherfucking week, Skee.
I really had enough time to think about it.
I'm talking to myself in the mirror and shit.
I'm gonna go ahead and disagree with everything Dutch said. I think Porzingis is gonna play good. I think he's been ready. He's been a little bit more ready to come back. It's just he's been chilling because they haven't needed him. And I mean, if anything, he's gonna space the floor. You gotta still respect him from 3. That takes Gaffer to take the big man out the paint. And I can see him hitting 2+ 3s tonight. I think that's his prop. Definitely can see him hitting that. And if you got him out there taking Gafford out, the paint is wide open. Celtics can get anything they want in this game. I think it'll take a little bit of time for Dallas to figure out how they're going to defend the Celtics, because the Timberwolves offense is down here. Celtics is way up here. So it's a different story.
Come on, man. Hey, you know what you got? You got like a fucking swooped up AAU team over there, and you got an actual basketball team. One team actually runs plays, other team just goes out there and plays. They don't know who's going to have the ball in the fourth quarter. They don't know what's going to happen. Derek White might be the guy. We know we know what's going on in Dallas, bro. Come on, man.
All right, let's talk about some shit you do like. How about that? Brett knows. Drew Holiday, Derek White, 2 really good perimeter defenders. I mean, they should be able to do a little something.
You're going to be slow with Derek White. We could talk about Drew, but if you're going to throw Derek White in on Kyrie and Luka the Don, get the fuck
all right,
here.
Drew then.
Yeah, I mean, he gonna get his, but you heard what he said. Did he sound too confident? What are you going to do when Kyrie's coming at you? Pray.
Hey, man.
He said pray.
Go ahead and do what you got to do.
This is what they got Drew Holiday for, though. They better hope he tries to match up well against him.
He's actually been playing. He actually played pretty well against them. I looked up the stats. He held.
They get Drew Holiday for Game 50 of the regular season. They got him for the NBA Finals to win a championship. This is when he's got to step up.
He said he clamped on WAM.
So they only, but see the time when Kyrie went against Drew Holiday, it was post-pandemic Kyrie, bro. He wasn't getting no calls. He only got to the foul line 4 times in that series against the Bucks. I ain't gonna lie, it was him and KD type thing. And he got it looked like Drew Holiday got the best of him, but that first game he got 28 points. He was able to get over the 25 points. So I'm gonna obviously break down the props here, but let's talk. I mean, I ain't know if it was my turn or not, but I'm just happy to be here with y'all. I just want to first off, shout out to the chat. Shout out to my guy Jam. Shout out to Soldier. Shout out to Charles, Nico, Alfonso, man, Tasha. Appreciate you, Tyler, Justin. You already know, Chris. It's all love, man. Raul, Harrell, Mark, man. So many of y'all, man. Y'all know what it is. Can you woo woo woo? Y'all already know, man. So many people up in here. So many OG veterans in the chat. As much as we talk about the ones on here. Shout out to Babano, Dutch breaking it down. And I will say, I agree with Dutch. They ain't about to stop Kyrie because it's like I said, it's post-pandemic Kyrie. We got a new reformed brother now. We got a new reformed brother. People like him now. He might get calls in this playoffs, and I think they really like Luka, man. I think Luka, if anybody can stop these boys to do it, it could be Luka to do it. But I don't know about I don't know too much about those props with Luka. I'm gonna stay away from those because I think that Luka may be going too crazy. I'm gonna stick to Kyrie, of course. You guys know that. I did happily take that over 214.5. So I'm glad I got on that. I think there's gonna be all type of shooting going on here. Obviously, my son gonna start up his DJ sit right now just because it's only right now. It's only right. You're trying to get on to. But yeah, bro, I'm on the over 214.5 too. So I want to hear that more so about what you guys are saying there too. I think that this is going to be some open threes for KP. I think KP is going to come play a little bit. So I do agree with Skee. I do think KP is going to be playing pretty well. I mean, it's been a week. We all been waiting, bro. Everybody been waiting for this shit. You know what I'm saying? So I do think that is going to be helpful for those guys to score. Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. I think Jaylen Brown has another good series here too, bro. If I was to take any type of preseason prop right now, I'd probably be taking Jaylen Brown to have a better game than Jason Tatum and possibly get MVP. The way Jason Tatum is talking about, him trying to defer to players and things like that, I think they're only going to start the more deferred now that KP comes back. So maybe he isn't the MVP like people think it's a Giro thing there. So if you do like the Celtics, I'd probably go Jaylen Brown MVP there for sure. But I'm going Kyrie, of course, over 24.5 points. We're going to go right back to the way I told y'all. I'm not even changing the damn tabs on the Who Banging Sports shit. I'm just leaving it there, letting it fly. Kyrie Irving over 24.5 points. We got it at plus 110. Right now it's minus 120. I'll take that as well. I'll take the look. Obviously, they was watching me. Only 15 people watched last night, but it's all good. I seen that those people that was watching and pushing the right button because they still moved in our direction. And over did too. So I'm liking the way the line moving. Hope we don't get the CLV bullshit. But it's the finals. I feel the best about the CLV today. So, yeah, man, I like the way we the position we're in right now. I'm not sure if I'm going to lock in any futures just yet. I think I want to see what type of production we're going to get from the Celtics. And then as far as the shot making, I think that Luka gets what he wants. Derek Lively gets to the rim. There's nobody, like Dutch was saying, there's nobody about to stop them down low, bro. They're not going to stop Gafford and these boys from taking the paint. They're going to pretty much hold down the paint, I think the Mavs are. So it's going to be a good game, bro. They got to score. So the only way the Celtics win is by scoring here. I like the over here. So over, and then we're going to go Kyrie, man, over 24.5 points.
All right, good stuff. We talked about the total before. We pretty much agreed that it should probably go over. Appreciate you guys out there in the chat. Good stuff from everybody. We'll go moving on over to best bets. Today's show.
I know you gotta go, but I need to know real something. You're on Celtics tonight, 6.5. I mean, you laid the number, you laid the 6.
Yeah.
Who's the best player on the court?
I don't give a fuck.
Who's the second best player on the court?
I can't care less.
I do agree with the point of Dallas defensively is going to be much more challenged by Boston than what they faced. I agree.
Hey, this motherfucking argument. KP, god damn, playoff basketball more physical.
Gonna be mad as fuck, Finesse. Hey, Finesse, we know I'm gonna bleed green eventually. We all know it's inevitable. I'm about to bleed green eventually. But hey, I'm telling you, it's over today, bro. And Kyrie going crazy. That's all I'm saying. That's for sure.
Damn,
quickly before we get to best bets, I want to mention I have no player props tonight, none, zero, because I think it's a little dicey to predict player performance tonight with the long layoff, for both teams. So game 2 and beyond on this show, we'll have some player props for you. But there are some series props I'm on. I'm on the series to go 6 and 7, which is like plus 230, plus 220. And I also bet Dallas to win 4-2, 4-3, Boston to win 4-2, 4-3. And if one of those hits, it's profit. It's a very good strategy if you think the series is going to go at least 6 games, and I think that.
Fair enough.
Good money. I like 6 too, bro. Let's get it.
Yeah, I gotta move. I gotta get out of here, man. My bad, but we're gonna move it over to best bets. And Wham Bam, you always go first. So let the people know what's the best way to get paid.
Listen, I'm just happy I made the show, man. Shout out to y'all, bro. Shout out to everybody, man. We're going with the American. Obviously, it's Luka the Don, of course, on Dallas, and you got Jason Tatum. But we're going to go with the American Kyrie Irving over 24.5 points. Right now, minus 120. I'll take that right now. Then we also over on the full game over like everybody else. But official best bet, Kyrie Irving over 24.5 points. Let's get paid, bro.
He thinks Kyrie will do some work tonight. We'll slide over to Babano. I have a feeling Babano's going with the total.
Absolutely. Slam dunk best bet for me. Clear best bet for me. Game 1. Over 216.5. The best current number out there. Over 216.5. Boston, Dallas. Game 1. Best bet.
I like it. I like it. And I will go next. You know, I didn't talk much about this, but I'm thinking about it. And do I really want to go there? Nah, I just want to go head to head with Dutch. I want to go Celtics minus 6.5. They're gonna get the job done, man. Dallas is poor in game 1. The only game 1 they won was because Timberwolves were off of that 7-game series versus the Nuggets where they were exhausted. They had to come back from down 20 points. Other than that, Mavericks always ass in game 1, man. They're gonna be ass tonight. They're gonna get stomped out like how Kyrie was trying to stomp on Lucky. It's revenge tonight. Celtics minus 6.5.
Get him, Dutch. Get him. Get him, bro.
Last but not least, let them know what the freshest lick of the day is and take us home, Dutchie.
Yeah, man. All right. Well, I'm due. I'm motherfucking due, Skee. So watch the fuck out, man. Watch the fuck out. Hey, you know what it is, man. I'm going with the best thing going. I'm going with the best motherfucking thing going. Kyrie Irving and Luka the motherfucking Don. You see what Wham Bam got on? He got that Maverick blue on for a motherfucking reason. Let's go to the window. Plus 6.5. It's good money. Believe that. Let's go. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share the motherfucking video. Shout out to all the real ones. G Martinez, Jay Wills. I see you, my man. Joe Chris. It's the NBA Finals, Game 1, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all stay fresh, stay blessed, and let's stay putting these motherfucking bookies to rest. Yeah, man.